This is Wandering Minds podcast, and I am Mickey.
You know me. I'm still Mike.
Still Mike.
Episode.
Is that like a
42.
fighter name? Still Mike?
Oh, should be. Sounds like a porn star name, actually.
Still?
Well, maybe not.
Not
Maybe my
Steel.
mind is just somewhere else.
I meant Still. Still. I don't think that having the porn name of Still Mike.
Steel. I mean, it kind of works.
Still?
No,
Still?
not still. Not that still. Like,
you're talking about Steel.
yeah, like
yeah, I'm
steel,
talking
like,
about Still. You're right. So
I'm
still Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, Still Mike.
Still Mike.
I wouldn't brag about that. Steel Mike, maybe.
Steel. You got to say it right.
Steel, but I was saying
Right,
still.
you were, but
I was, but yeah.
I was not hearing it right. Anyways, that's us. So tell me about everything that's been going on with you this week. You've had a lot of stuff. Last pod talk, we talked about you looking for a house. What's the update? Everybody wants to know.
Do they?
Probably.
Well, we found a house and
Okay.
we're in contract, but it needs a new roof. So we're waiting to find out if the sellers are going to pay for that. They can't sell it unless they replace the roof because it's that bad.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then unless somebody comes in with a cash offer, however, it's in their best interest to just replace it, because if somebody comes in with a cash offer to buy that place, it's going to be far below what we're paying them.
Right. Yeah.
Even with them taking the cost of the roof out of what we're paying.
Yeah.
Right. So we're either going to buy the house with a brand new roof or we're not going to buy it. Mm-hmm. The good thing is, this has happened when we've made offers previously, is like while we're waiting to find out if somebody's going to accept our offer or not, other houses were coming on the market that I'm like, all right, well, I would like this house. And so that has been hard. But the last week or so, there hasn't been anything that's come on the market that has me like, well, fuck, I wish they figure their shit out so that we could move forward.
Well, how long did they have to figure their shit out? What's the timeline on that of this?
I don't know specifically.
Okay.
Rhett is collecting estimates to replace the roof. Mm-hmm. It's not his fucking job, but he's doing it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the seller's job, but he's just trying to like
speed things up.
Yeah, which I really appreciate. What else was I going to say about that? There's something about 10 days after inspection, so hopefully as soon as he gets the bid to them, we can find out, because like we want to move forward, and I don't want to keep, like, we've already paid for the inspection and the septic inspection, and like I don't want to keep throwing money at this if they're not going to replace the fucking roof.
Yeah. Right.
The next thing is the appraisal, and for a VA loan, it's $1,000. I'm like, I don't have that kind of money just to throw at a house, because by then it'll be $2,000
that you're in already. Right.
And for a house we're not going to get, like, that's dumb. Mm-hmm. So, because now the thing is it's on septic, but city water, and the tank is, the guy thought maybe it was leaking, so we have to find out like what that is. But that might give us leverage with like negotiating the selling price. Because
the septic, they would have to pull that whole thing out, right?
To replace it, yeah. But if it's just leaking, like maybe it just needs patched.
And they're able to do that.
I have no idea.
Oh.
I don't know anything about septic other than, the process to replace the whole thing is pretty big process, right? They'd have to pull out the cement tank and drop in a new one. Yeah. Get rid of the old one, all that. So.
And that's probably in your backyard.
It is.
Right? So they would have to get big machinery into your backyard, destroy your landscaping or whatever there is.
Yeah, it's a hot mess back there anyway. But
but still, I mean, it'd be a bigger hot mess after they got done with it.
Yeah. So, not that I just want to like put a Band-Aid on the septic. I want to know how bad it is.
Right, yeah. Because if you're buying a house, this is long term.
Right. But if we go to sell it in 10 years... and
then you have to deal with that.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, well, this needs to be replaced. Well, shit.
Yep.
Like, that's no cheap endeavor.
Right.
So
oh, man.
We'll find out. But the house was built in the 60s, so the tank has been there since then.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow. So the adventures of Mickey continue. Wow.
All the time.
Always something.
Always.
That's good. Keeps everybody on their toes.
Yeah. Does it? It would. So we went through to do the walkthrough at the inspection the other night, Wednesday night, and so when you go and like see a house, it's usually pretty fast. It annoys me like how rushed those things are, because you don't really get a feel for like, wow, I really love this house or whatever. So then to go back after we've made the offer and it's been accepted and whatnot, I'm like, oh shit, this house needs a lot of work.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you the other day, I was like, nothing has been updated in this house except for maybe the wallpaper they put on the paneling.
Right?
In the living room, right?
Yeah.
It was built in the 60s.
Yeah.
So it's still got like the whole thing needs updated.
How many owners have been in that house? Do you know?
I don't know, but these people have owned it since the 90s.
Okay.
So.
It's funny that you say that though, because when we bought this house, this property here, where my shop's at now, I don't know if you remember, but there was 2 like RV things.
I think I had seen pictures of it.
Yeah, right up against that neighbor's property over there. They didn't even have the 5-foot easement or
whatever,
5 or 10 foot, whatever it is. They had it literally up against the fence. They had a garden. They had a garden, a chicken coop, a teepee, handmade out of tarp. Like teepee.
I think it's in the pictures.
A pool, pool with a deck, right? Above ground pool with above ground deck.
It had a really nice deck around that pool.
Yeah, it was nice. It
looked nice in the pictures anyway.
So when we first came and looked at the house, we're like, oh, this is great, right? Yeah. We're looking at all this stuff, but we weren't really seeing everything. We go into the house and we fall in love with it, right? Mm-hmm. They had it clean. They had it set up to sell. So, and it was an open house.
This house was not clean. Mine.
Right. Yeah. Our house was. Well, and the lady who we bought it from is actually a realtor, right? We didn't work with her. That was just separate. But, so she had it set up nice, right? And we go in and we fall in love with it. Now, obviously we bought the house. First fucking thing that goes is all the bullshit in the backyard, right? Because A, I'm building a shop, but B, when you start to look at it, it's like, this fucking teepee is made out of tarp, right? What the fuck? It's not even like cool looking. Yeah. It's just white trash. That's all it is. The chicken coop was fucking nasty. The garden was cluttered full of just
full of weeds.
Stuff, just stuff, right? The RV bays, because there was 2 separate ones, were so unwell built. It was disgusting. All that shit just instantly was down. But I knew because we were going to build the shop. But then you go back into the house and it's like we fell in love with the spiral stairs and we're like, well, those are pretty fucking lame actually, right? Those are pretty lame. Climbing up and down those constantly is an endeavor in and of itself.
Well, it's different than just like running up a set of stairs.
And then you got animals that do it. I had Romeo at the time, big ass Rottweiler, did not want to climb those fucking stairs. He wouldn't climb those. So luckily they built stairs out the back that you can actually carry shit up because the reality is you can't carry anything. Yeah,
because there was no other access to the upstairs.
No way of getting stuff up there unless you had a back stairway. But then you look at stuff like the paint in different rooms and then you're like, wow, this actually looks like shit. Right? They had the TV on the far wall where we have it over here, right? Mm-hmm. So if you were to watch TV, our kitchen dining room area, open space to the big living room, right? If you were to watch TV, you'd have your back to the wall, to the kitchen dining room area. So obviously people come through the door, you'd have your back to them, which you already know I don't like having my back to anything like that. But it's just not like the feng shui of it, the energy of it, flow was not right. I mean, why would you have a TV on the wall this way? But they also had a pool table in that same room, which actually came with the house, but we got rid of it because we had our own pool table that we put into the game room, which was, I think that room was a dining room for them, which would have made a beautiful dining room, but it makes a great game room for us.
Yeah.
But the way that they had it set up and the paint and everything, we changed most of it, right? Even though we fell in love with the house, we absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Very rapidly, we painted a lot of the different rooms and changed stuff around. So,
yeah.
But that's just like that. Going back to what you were saying, feeling rushed.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have changed anything for us. But when you actually look at stuff and the way that like a lot of this stuff was just rapidly put together, like there's trim boards that are just stapled in that we had to like put down properly because it was just like rushed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's crazy to me. So going through the process of looking at houses, and they're doing them like in 15-minute increments. So like we'll be still looking and people will show up and I'm like, bitch, I'm not done looking at this house. Yeah. Like it's a big deal to decide in 15 minutes whether or not I want to buy this house.
Which is crazy because you make a great point because this is the biggest investment that people make.
Yeah.
So, is buying a home. Yeah. Why would you rush a motherfucker through that?
Yeah. And what's interesting is Rhett told me that in the deals where there's like a deadline and like they do like a bidding war, he said it's often that people will pull out because they were rushed. Just rushed decisions. Right. Yeah. Like, oh, I got to get this in. And that makes sense because it'd be easy to have like that buyer's remorse on such a big fucking decision.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to go mortgage poor.
Right. And I think this house, regardless of just like you guys here, because even though this house is super outdated, it needs a lot of work. Yeah. Because of the layout and the price. Right. It has a huge yard, the location, all of that. Like we still would have bought it. Yeah. But I like to plan and think about like, all right, these are measurements. This is the size that I'm going to need to replace this floor. Yeah. I need to replace this window. Like these counters need to be replaced. Like this is what I can do in the bathroom, to plan ahead of time. Right. Right. And it
seems like this is just moving quick.
Yeah. You just don't have time to do it. And they wanted to do closing, not they, but, Rhett typically does closing in 3 weeks, which is fine. Yeah. But they took 5 days out of that 3 weeks to accept our offer.
So almost a full week out of the 3 weeks.
And I'm like, you want to close still? Like, right. Not him, but like the finance people. Yeah. So I was like, we'll see. Because a VA appraisal, because we're getting a VA loan, that appraisal is usually booked 3 weeks out. And
so do you have a particular person coming to do that? Is that
the appraisal?
Yeah. For the VA loan?
I don't know how that works. Okay. I'm not the one that orders it. It's the finance company. Okay. I just have to pay for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy all the stuff that comes into buying a house and all the processes that go into that stuff.
Yeah, and this is the fourth house we bought, so it's not unfamiliar. But the last time we bought a house was like 10 years ago, so it's
probably
different.
Not in Oregon.
No, it wasn't. The last one was Tennessee. Yeah. The one before that was North Carolina, and the one before that was on the Oregon coast. Yeah. So I guess it's the fourth house I bought.
Nice. Yeah. So you've bought a house in Oregon before, so you.
Yeah.
I would imagine that states are the same, but some are different. I mean, in the way that the processes work. But
when I bought the house in Oregon before, I was 19. Oh, okay. I was 19 and a homeowner. Yes.
Look at that, people.
It's impressive. Holy take note.
Buckets.
But I'm so 19. That was a long time ago, right? Over 20 years ago, and so things were a lot different. Yeah, and I sold that house myself too, actually.
Good for you. Look at you.
Fucking impressive. I can.
I forget we have these buttons.
Yeah, well, they're kind of out of reach. But yeah, so we'll see. By the time we do the next podcast, I should know whether or not they're going to do the roof. It would be silly for them not to. I feel like they would have just said like, oh no, that's not an option. Right. Because we've known since Wednesday and today's Friday.
Well, they're looking at the house. They're thinking, man, this roof's going to need to be redone. Guaranteed they already knew that it needed to be redone.
I have no idea. I
mean, anybody would. You can just look at it and see that, right?
It's pretty bad. The inspector guy, he said that like it's 50% the granules missing. Oh, jeez. And Joseph and Rhett got up on the roof and like...
Probably slid.
Yeah, like the things were, what are they called? They're not tiles.
Yeah,
whatever they were like sliding out. Yeah. Like it's bad. Oh shit. Yeah. So there's no leaks, thankfully.
That's good.
But they had to have
Yeah. So that has to be original. Right? If it's that bad.
Yeah, so...
Because I think a lot of those are
they're like 30, 40 years.
Yeah,
and it's been 60-ish.
Oh, sheesh.
So, yeah, it was probably...
Well, even if it's still 30 years, it still hasn't been replaced in a long-ass time.
Yeah, so it might not be the original. It might have been replaced, but it...
Wow.
Even if it's a second roof, it's...
Yeah.
It needs it. So... Yeah, there's all that.
Well, that's a lot. That's a lot.
There's a lot going on altogether.
Oh, that was a pop.
How has your lifting been this week?
Good. Busy. It's just, it's hard to...
Because you've had several details this week.
Yeah, and it's really hard because one detail in particular was a fucking... It was bad. It was dirty. So this was like somebody's work truck. And have you ever been inside like a logger's truck, like a crummy, right? It gets dusty and dirty, just literally every part of that vehicle.
Yeah.
That's what this was.
That's
what this was. There was thick layers of dirt that you can't just wipe off. You got to literally clean off, right?
Is that the one that was on like the little turn knobby thingy?
That little knob? Yeah. Did you see how thick that grime was? That's how the fucking steering wheel was too. And you look at it and you're like, is that damage? Or is it just layers? It's layers and layers of grime. Like the oils from your hand and all the dirt and the debris just builds up and builds up and builds up. Oh yeah, that's what I fucking do for a living. You're welcome. But yeah, it was bad. I mean, and I always take the seats out, but one of those pictures on the slide that I labeled, but most people probably didn't even see it, was actually underneath the seat. Just how much built up debris is under the seat. And the interesting thing about like vehicles and about cleaning a vehicle is if you don't pull the seats out, you're missing so much of the filth. Because so much stuff gets underneath the seats.
And then the runner thingies.
Yeah, under the tracks and even the seat itself. Under the seat itself is so full of debris and grossness. And that all holds smells. So, of course, I always take the seats out and stuff like that. But this thing was a fucking hog. I actually wasn't able to. So I finished one car on Tuesday. So I didn't go to the gym on Tuesday because I got my program late, and I wanted to go early, particularly that day because I knew I had a window of time because I'm also moving Aaliyah. So work. I was hoping to train, work, move. Do stuff, right? I didn't get my program till later, so I wasn't able to fit it in that window because my window is very tight this week. So I ended up training the next day, which was the day I started the bad detail, which was just even worse.
There's another one?
The truck, the most recent detail. And so it's like my training days are not easy. They're always fucking hard.
Yeah.
So they wear me the fuck out. So of course I trained first and then worked, and I literally didn't get done with that interior till after 8:00 that night with just the interior. It wasn't wrapped up. It wasn't completely finished, but it was finished being cleaned. It was drying. I had all the dressing on, all that stuff.
And you're usually done with that by like 3 or 4 at the latest in the day.
Yeah. So it took. I didn't get done till 8 that night. And I was fucking exhausted. And then, of course, I trained the next day and then wrapped up the truck and stuff like that. But training is good. It's super exhausting. I have a very small window of time that I like to train in. And it just depends. If I'm training with the team, I always schedule things very tight, no matter what, around training. I know my seat
Your chair's very squeaky.
It's very noisy today. So... that being said, when I'm busy, training is going to take the backseat. Even though I said I schedule my life around training, I'm not going to schedule my business around training. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, it's different.
So
it's like a livelihood versus a hobby.
It is. So if I don't get my training sessions in on my regular days, they're going to have to fucking wait. That's just all there is to it because business is always going to come first, which sucks because I love training. It's one of my things, but it's so difficult, especially this close to competition.
When is it?
Father's Day.
Oh, that's right.
Father's
Shit.
Day's when I'm competing.
Yeah. So like 6 weeks.
In Newport. Yeah, in Newport for just to qualify. Just doing qualifiers, and then hopefully we'll qualify for Worlds, which is going to be in Vegas, I think in November.
Yeah, well, November is what you told me before.
Yeah. So other than that, training's good. I was doing something the other day. One of the accessories we did what is that, GHD?
It's like a Roman chair thing. Is that what it's called? It's a glute.
No.
It's a glute ham raise, but it's on like a Roman chair or something.
But it was single leg.
Yeah.
And I was doing something with I was trying to do it with my left leg, and I twisted wrong, and I fucking felt a pop in this hip right here. So I stopped.
Is it still bugging you?
No, it actually stopped bugging me the next day when I was doing my bench, because I set my hip super wide, and that actually kind of helped. But yeah, something popped. It was weird. It fucking popped.
It's a lot of pressure to have.
I'm done with that shit.
Yeah.
So I did a couple body weight ones, and that was like, okay, no.
Yeah.
So
that's good though.
Other than that, I mean, and that's the thing. Also with training right now, I have to stay fucking injury free. Yeah. That's the one thing that I don't think about. But I mean, we've had this discussion. But my age, as busy as I am at work, as physical as I am at work, plus training, it's like injury is that one thing that, especially this close to competition, that I just gotta avoid, because I'm as strong as I've ever been. As long as I could stay injury free, things are gonna go great. So this fucking thing is squeaky as hell.
Yeah, now it's not.
Until I move it. Yeah. So no, everything's good. Training's good. I got max effort day tomorrow and Sunday. Today's Friday, right? Yeah. So yeah. Nice. Yeah, good stuff. How about you?
For what, the training?
Anything, everything. You were talking about doing the challenge, their next challenge coming up.
Yeah. I'm not like in a position to like be throwing away $100, and that's the shitty part. It's like you have to pay to join, and I'm like, I got so many other expenses in this moment, right? This month. So our garbage comes out quarterly. Our phone bills come out quarterly. I'm like, fuck, it's all hitting this month when we have like these extra expenses. So it's like, man, and we're going on vacation this week, which I've been planning since January, and that's not paid. I'm like, fuck, I don't. The way it's all lining up is not. Like,
not ideal, right?
Should I spend the $100? Like, is it actually going to motivate me? It would motivate me to like get to win, but at the same time, like, I'm not a competitive person, and I know that about myself, so it's difficult to be like, all right, how hard am I going to try? Is it really worth it? Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah.
By the way, speaking of that, how are those donuts? Tell me about the donuts.
So there's this place called Locals Donuts, which is a food truck that goes, I don't know, Junction City, Albany, and Eugene. I think Junction City. Anyway, it's run by Mennonites. I only know that because we were all dressed like Mennonites. And they go from like town to town every week or every day, once a week. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go because I've seen it. And this week they had cream-filled maple donuts. Bavarian cream donuts are my favorite. And I'm a big like donut person. Anywhere I go, I like to try a donut.
I like to try multiple donuts.
That's the problem. It's because I don't know. I like fucking donuts. So be it. And so I've seen in the pictures like there's lines. And I'm like, all right, this donut is worth waiting for. Yes. I want to try it. And so 50 minutes I waited in line for these donuts. That's dedication to the donut.
Well, that is dedication to the donut.
Going into it, I didn't know. And like by the time I'm 20 minutes in, I'm like, well,
You're halfway there, right?
I've already been here 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It was one of the best donuts. And I've had a lot from different places. Mm-hmm. The best donuts I've ever had.
Did you find a line buddy?
What?
Did you find a line buddy? Were you in line with somebody that you could just chat with?
No, but people fucking talk to me all the time. It's weird.
Yeah.
I was just standing there, minding my business, although I was watching people.
Yeah.
And this woman who has this little girl, and they were related to people in the food truck. I'm just standing there, And this woman, they go up to the food truck and they're walking away. And this woman looks at me. She says, oh, her sister's working in the food truck. And I'm like, that's cool.
Random.
No, I was like, oh, that's fun, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like something positive, whatever the fuck I would say. But I was like, why are you telling me? Like, it just...
Yeah.
But I have that happen all the
though.
time.
Really?
And I was talking to Christy about it on a very lengthy phone call yesterday about how... Because she's like, people just talk to me all the time and tell me their problems and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think it's because you're... Myself also, like, acknowledging others by, like, making eye contact... And you're just open and approachable. Yeah. And most people are not. Right. And so when a person senses that or sees that, they're going to talk to you. Yeah. Mennonite people don't talk to fucking other people that aren't Mennonites. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Maybe that's a religiousist.
Is that a word?
What is that word?
Religiousist?
Religiousist thing to say, but they don't generally like hang out with others. They like keep to themselves. So I was surprised.
That's interesting.
She's like, oh, her sister's working in the food truck.
Like whose sister though?
The little girl. Oh. The little girl, because it was an older woman. Yeah. Like probably.
So she offered that information to you that she was walking by with a little girl. And she,
on her way back from the food truck.
And she just happened to say, oh, by the way, her sister's working in the food truck. Just some random stranger. Yes. Good for you, Mickey. Good for you.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it happens all the time.
No, I get that.
People talk to me all the time.
And you're 100% correct, because so many people are guarded, right? And so many people feel like they're not heard or listened to or even seen in this society for good reason a lot of times, but not all the time, right? But I think that people are like this most of the time, right? Yeah. So of course you're not going to be fucking seen.
I turned around and like looked in the line.
Yeah, everybody's got their faces in the phone. But I think that's a protective measure for most people, because especially if they're alone, they're going to act like they're doing something.
When you're fucking alone, that's even more when you need to be looking
around. Well, and that's it. I'm fucking watching people, right? But most people are so insecure that they want to look like they're being active and engaging with something or someone. Yeah. Even if they're not.
Maybe that's why she talked to me, because I'm just like watching all the people come and go.
Because
and
you're a people watcher.
Listening to like the cars come in and like what kind of like.
Yeah, well, and that tells you, well, yes. And I think that's the good thing about your position is you are a good person to talk to. You're a safe person to talk to.
I am.
And I have the same way. I'm actually a safe person to talk to as well. But it's amazing to me the information that people will divulge to you after just minutes of knowing you, when you're receptive to, when you actually listen to a person. And the problem is that one of my favorite quotes, I'm not going to say it word for word because it went here and then out as I was thinking about it, is people stop listening when they think they have the answer, right? That's not the exact quote.
What one was that?
That was the drums. Yes. But it's true though, right? Most people want to fix everyone else and they think they have your answer. Yeah. So they're not actually listening. Listening, like you're not listening.
I am listening.
No, they just want to hear you enough to fix what you're telling them. Yeah. And when you're able to hear somebody and just listen to them, they're going to fucking tell you so much fucking shit about themselves.
Oh yeah.
Which is fine to some people, but not to everybody.
It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me either. But I also have a background in psychology, so I'm very receptive and capable of handling meeting people at their level, right? Most people can't do that. That is a fake counselor, right? That's a bored counselor. Or me when I just can't hear you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Are you going to divulge
my hearing aid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mike got a hearing aid a few weeks ago. He still can't fucking hear me when I'm talking to him.
Because I turned that fucker off.
Or he doesn't put it in. Yeah. So I'm like talking to him. This happens all the time. I'll be just like talking to him in the gym and he's like walking off and people are looking at me and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Because I turn my volume down when I'm around certain people, right? No, that's not true. Which is funny though, because I was at my father-in-law's house the other day and I had it in and on and I'm like, wow, this motherfucker's loud. And then I heard myself chewing. Oh. And I'm like, garage is right.
did she say? What did she say?
She always complains about hearing me chew.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
And you don't hear it.
Well, I didn't, because I have one bad ear, right? And so when I'm very directional in hearing, when I can't hear out of one ear, I'm always like that. So if you're talking to me on this side and there's music blaring, I'm not fucking hearing you. I may act like it. I'll be like, okay. Yeah, I'll smile, I'll laugh.
Ask him, like, did you hear what I said? Mm-mm. Yeah.
9 words out of 10 I never hear from what you're saying. Even right now in this room.
Speaking of being able to hear yourself, this morning, we have 5 PTs at work now, and we went from 2 to 5.
Damn.
In the matter of like 6 months, which is a lot. And so Tyler used to take home the laundry and do it every week, and it's gotten to where I told Jesse that I don't mind, like I'll take home the laundry and I'll do it. I work from home anyway, so whatever. But now, like I'm gonna have to do it twice a week. So before I left, I took it in this morning because I was feeling really ambitious apparently on Wednesday, and I said I would get it there Thursday, which was yesterday.
Right. Wow.
That didn't fucking happen.
Why don't you guys have a washing machine there?
There's nowhere for one.
Oh, that sucks.
That's an excellent idea though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll run that by Jesse because that would be an excellent addition.
Need outlets and the water hookup.
Yeah, which if it was anyway.
Yeah.
Another conversation.
And you can get some pretty good stackable, like industrial looking, smaller stackables at even Best Buy.
Yeah.
Or a lot of places.
Yeah, it would be a matter of like getting it hooked up.
Yeah.
But I like that idea.
Again,
he probably has thought of that, but maybe it might just be like the where to put it.
Right. Well, I have the hookup in my shop.
Right.
Right. But I haven't gotten a washer and dryer because again, it's just towels, mainly just towels and stuff like that.
And you live right here.
Yeah, it's not very far. But I still probably will just because I don't like to haul my towels in here or whatever I'm washing out there. So
well, that and like the shit on your towels is going to end up in your washer and then your dryer because it doesn't all come out. So there's that aspect too. Like, all right, I want to
cross contamination. Absolutely.
Yeah. The towels we use at work, it's like wiping down.
Yeah, benches,
the
and
table
stuff.
and stuff. So it's doesn't got like nasty. I mean, it's just sweat.
Yeah.
Is that like that's really all it has on it. But what I was getting to is I decided because I had to get in there first thing this morning, because they were out of pillow slips, I would lift at work, right? Previously, when I've lifted at work, it's not very busy, and we could turn on whatever music we wanted, and it could be like an energetic ambiance. This morning, I don't know what music was playing, but it wasn't energetic.
Oh, man.
And I had to be like kind of quiet because like one of our PTs was in there with a client. And I'm like benching and I'm like hearing myself like breathe, like take the breath to like press. And then I'm like, re-racking it. And it's like, and I was like, wow, I'm really noisy.
Yeah. You really are.
Yeah.
Again, turn the volume off when Mickey's around. Just kidding. So how did the lift go?
I kept it light because Marielle, one of the PTs, she offered to spot me, but I just didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to work out. Like I've been yesterday, I was cranky. I think I'm just feeling overwhelmed and so I'm feeling stressed and it's affecting my mood. This morning I woke up feeling the same way. So when I got to the gym, like some stuff had happened on the way there. I was like, I don't fucking feel like working out. Right. But then Marielle was working out and like, she's a super bubbly, energetic person. And I was like, all right, I'm here. I might as well.
Good for you. So
all I did was bench. So I didn't do any accessories or anything. Cause I was like, all right, I gotta go. Yeah. Holy shit. It's been 36 minutes.
Shit.
All right. We need to cut this short.
Okay. You done?
Yeah, I was thinking we'd like maybe make it to 20.
Right.
But apparently
this flew.
It did. Hopefully it flew for you in a good way. Right?
Yeah, always. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.